when we get down to business, what we need to remind people, and what the Republican Party and the Trump campaign needs to continue to remind people, is that Kamala Harris is the most dangerously liberal of all of the Democrats, more than maybe Joe Biden. She's out there maybe past Bernie Sanders as well. And that's what the messaging has to be. The messaging has to be that the policy, the person, not the personalities and the and what check boxes they all check, and first this and first that and female this and black that and Indian this. None of that. It's got to be about her, the policies, and how dangerous her policies are. Here's a spot that the Trump campaign put out today.
If you thought Joe Biden was radical, just wait until you get to know Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her.
You know, for far too long, the status quo thinking has been to believe that by putting more police on the street, you're going to have more safety. And that's just wrong.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
People who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Is that a position that you agree with?
Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE, and we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's new darling of the party. She 60 Minutes this weekend proudly calling herself a radical, and she's promoting policies like saying that every single carbon emission in the country, every car, should be eliminated within the next 11 years, everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate. Do you agree that she could possibly, in this ideology of the socialist left, could splinter your party?
No, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Ooh, and that's what the messaging needs to be, because that's what it is. Dangerously liberal. That's a good ad. It's good messaging, and that's what they need to continue to hammer that message. Once all the pomp and circumstances over here in these first couple days, they raise all their money, they all jump up and down. Chuck Schumer jumps up and down, and they all say what a transformational figure she is and all this. Then and Biden's going to give his speech tomorrow, and most likely he's going to say he's going to stay on through the rest of the term. He's got unfinished business, and we know what all of the messaging is going to be. And she's going to be left out there to campaign. And you're going to see the whole. Listen, we've talked on this show for as long as I've done it. When they want to rally the wagons, they rally the wagons. They fall in line and they rally the wagons, and that's what they do, whether they like it or not. Especially when it comes to policy. When Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the House, it didn't matter whether you liked whatever the legislation was. You either voted for it or your career was over, because that's the way she plays ball, with brass knuckles. So it doesn't matter whether they all internally like the candidate or think she can win. It doesn't matter. Fall in line or get out of D.C. and get out of this career is what the message will be from Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and all the other radical Democrats. That's what it's going to be. Fall in line now, and that's it. And then we'll see who she picks. I still think she goes to Shapiro in Pennsylvania. I get the Jewish thing, and I get that still could be a thing. Maybe she goes to the guy in North Carolina, Cooper. Maybe she goes to Tammy Baldwin, Wisconsin, but she's going to pick somebody from one of those states that she has to win.
Kelly, Arizona, married to Gabby Giffords.
Gabby Giffords, yep.
Yeah.
Who knows where she goes? I think she goes to Shapiro. I think that would make it the toughest race that we could have if she did, even though I think she's horrible at the top of the ticket. But people like him, and they'll get excited for him and her. But we'll see. As far as debates go, Trump should debate her as many times as he can, or she'll allow. If I was them, I wouldn't have any debates. But maybe they'll think they're arrogant enough that she can handle a debate with him. And of course, they'll have the media there to cover her water, or carry her water, and cover for her lies. But she's got no. I mean, Trump could take aim at a lot of things which are her on the stage: the border, number 1, and number 2, and number 3, and a lot of other things. Her raising money for BLM and rioters across in the summer of 2020. There's a lot of things that she doesn't want to stand up on a stage and have to answer for. A lot. So we'll see where that goes. But once all this pomp and circumstance is over, we get down to business. As her as the candidate, and how radical she is. And that's the messaging the Republicans need to undertake and the Trump campaign needs to undertake. That commercial is a good start. They need to keep hammering that. So